Hey guys, welcome to a special episode of Gyaldem City meets the Gunner Talk. I am Jan City, Yannicka, whatever you want to call me, and I'm joined by Cam. How are you, Cam?
All good, as good as we can be, I suppose, isn't it? Because we already know what's tomorrow, isn't it? So I'm all good. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm fine. So we'll talk obviously about the game tomorrow. Before we do that, we will just touch on the transfer window because it's been a bit of a crazy transfer window. How are you feeling as an Arsenal fan with the business that you've done? So you've obviously got Ramsdale, you've got Ben White. Who else? Is that it?
We got Ramsdale, Ben White, Lokonga,
Oh,
Tavares, and Odegaard.
yes.
I mean, they're backups, aren't they? Isn't it funny, yeah? If you look at this transfer window, yeah? Look at this transfer window, innit? Literally up till today. So in one transfer window, you've had Messi go to PSG, Lukaku go to Chelsea, Grealish go to City, Ronaldo obviously coming to United, and all this. But yet Arsenal spent the most. It's
mad. It is mad.
And most of it is backup players. It's not even like a star player. Like
yeah, it's a bit mad. It's a bit mad.
That's why we remain Banter FC, bruv. This is what I hate about my club. I mean, I've just seen this chat. I hate this club. I mean, because there's the rumors going around now, innit, that the Qatari royal family want to take over Arsenal.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So if
that's mad.
Whether that's true, I mean, I think it's true that they want to, but whether it happens or not, I don't know, innit. But
yeah,
I'll see. Until then, it's going to be a long old process.
Yeah,
I don't see Arsenal making any more signings. This is the problem.
That's true.
I don't see them making. I mean, we need another right back.
Yeah.
But
it's one of them.
How do you feel? How do you feel? Because you've only bought in Jack Grealish.
Oh God. I'm not surprised by anything that's happened in the transfer window. People keep saying, "Oh my God, you've predicted everything correctly," but I just think City are really predictable. So I don't really get surprised. Like Kane, I knew we would go for Kane. I knew we wouldn't get Kane because I knew Levy was going to make it hard. Man City are not the sort of club that would just pay whatever. So I knew we were going to get clash heads basically with that transfer because they, when fullbacks weren't going for 50 million, they were trying to get 50 million out of us for Kyle Walker, which we paid. But yeah, it's one of them. I knew they were going to say he's X amount because Kyle Walker wasn't their best player. And they still charged us a fortune at the time. So I knew it was going to be difficult. I thought City would go for a backup. I thought they'd do what we did with Koulibaly, where we go for Koulibaly and then get Ruben Diaz in. It doesn't look like we're doing that. I think they've left it a bit late, to be honest. So I don't know what we're going to do in terms of a striker. All of the options that I thought we could maybe fall back on are pretty much gone. So I really don't know what they're going to do. I think it's a lot of pressure to put all of that sort of Man City pressure on winning the league. Because bear in mind, when we don't win the league, it's a failure. Any other club, when they don't win, it's like, oh, we finished top 4. That's not good enough for City. So you're putting a lot of pressure on Delap. So I don't think it's really fair because he is only 18. Grealish. Yeah, I like Grealish. I've got nothing against him. People are saying we don't need him. I think we rely a lot on De Bruyne. We rely heavily on De Bruyne. And it's not really fair because when De Bruyne gets injured, don't get me wrong, we can still win because we still have a good team, but we just don't look as strong. So it's nice to kind of have someone else that is very, very talented that can create a lot of chances as well. So Grealish makes sense as much as people are saying it doesn't. It does make sense. Bernardo Silva also might leave. So that is our De Bruyne replacement when De Bruyne is injured. So yeah, I think I think that signing does make some sense, even though people are saying it doesn't. But this situation up front, I don't know what we're doing, because we've gone from having Balotelli, Carlos Tevez, Edin Dzeko, and Sergio Aguero to having absolutely no striker. Now we've only got Delap now, so to me it's a bit crazy. I don't know if City are going to do what we did with Ruben Diaz, and just kind of sign him out of nowhere, no real links, that sort of thing. I don't know, but it's interesting. In terms of Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously Twitter have their own agendas that they like to push. They tend to only believe the stories that they like. So they believe in the stories that Bruno Fernandes brought him to Man United and how he rejected Man City and all that crap. But they're not reading the stories where City actually offered half of the money that Man United have offered, and that Cristiano Ronaldo told people he wanted to join Man City. They're ignoring that and they're going with the other stuff. I don't know what's happened. He didn't appear to be a Man City sort of player just by who we signed. I think if we were going to get someone towards the end of his career, we would have probably gone for Messi. Messi is a lot more Man City than Ronaldo, especially more a Pep player than Ronaldo. So again, when we were linked to Ronaldo, I said, I'm loving the meltdown because it was brilliant to see, but he would never come to Man City, and that's exactly what happened.
I mean, that would have been, do you know what?
Just for the banter. Even if he got 0 goals, 0 assists, he would have been worth it, just for the meltdown.
Do you know what it is? Yeah? Even if he did come City, I actually think he would have done quite all right for you, but if he was, I just wanted to see him in that City shirt, bro. I wanted to see him in that, sky blue Man City shirt, knowing the stick that we've got, from Man United fans themselves, because of the whole Fabregas and Van Persie and all that. I just wanted that so they could feel it. And they did feel it for like maybe 24 hours. They did feel it for 24 hours. They felt it. So I'm not surprised that he's going United. At the end of the day, the way I see it, I think I think it was more of a little cunning plan on City's behalf, because I think they know if City go in for them, Man United are not going to allow that. Like that's you know what I'm saying? That's like the greatest ever player. Like Man United, no, we can't have Ronaldo, even if it is we can't have the name Ronaldo, our greatest ever player ever, even retire at City, whatever. Like. It's mad. Like, so I think it was a little deploy, because I know the deal weren't that much. I think it was only like 20 million, but they're gonna be paying him $500,000 a week. Yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot of money.
So if you actually work it out, it actually works out to be like, right, you're basically paying what he was worth 10 years ago if you wanted to buy him transfer.
Yeah.
So,
it is a bit mad, because it's like the thing is with their issues haven't been going forward. Like, that's not the issue. With Man City, we need a clinical goal scorer. Man United don't really need that. It's a DM that they need. It's the midfield. It's playing McFred. They're still going to have to play McFred if Cristiano Ronaldo is there. So it's not, if they go out now and buy a DM, it's a whole different story. But if they don't, I think all Ronaldo really does is probably push someone like Greenwood a little bit further away from where he would want to be, and obviously they can play together, don't get me wrong, but there's going to be upset players because, they've got Van der Beek and he can't.
Basically, who are you dropping Ronaldo for? What manager's dropping Ronaldo regardless?
No, he's not. They're not. Ronaldo will start. So the thing is, other players are going to get dropped. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, from a Man United point of view, you can't let Ronaldo join Man City. So I understand why they signed him. I don't understand why they've come up with that wage, because from what it was being reported, what Man City offered, it was 40 million euros. So it's like £260,000 a week, and they're paying 480. So it's almost double. So I don't understand why.
Wasn't it City that ended up pulling out of it, not Ronaldo?
Yeah, so apparently City pulled out. But the thing is, I don't really know what's happened. Apparently, I've heard a few conflicting stories, but apparently what happened was it's one of two things. I've heard that Mendes wanted Cristiano Ronaldo to go back to Man United. So what he's done is he's approached Man City, knowing that if he approaches Man City and Man City say, we'll think about it, Man United are going to come in with some bumper offer to make sure that he doesn't come to Man City, which has happened. Or the other thing that I heard was that, because apparently Cristiano Ronaldo was telling his friends at Juventus, I'm going to Man City. So that's what he was saying himself. He wasn't sort of saying, I'm going to United. So it's either to do with Mendes kind of trying to get Man City to put an offer in so Man United double it, which is what happened, or it's the other thing would be that what I heard from Man City was that Man City pulled out because they're not interested in paying whatever. I don't think, from what Pep said, apparently Pep said he wasn't interested. That doesn't surprise me because when we were linked to Ronaldo and I was on streams, Flawless was telling me, but he ain't a Pep player. He's not a Pep player. Like Cristiano Ronaldo is like Zlatan. And Pep doesn't like that sort of player. So for him to go and sign Ronaldo, it doesn't really make much sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have still taken him because what we need is a clinical player. So for me,
I would have just loved taking him for the bands. For the bands.
Yeah, for the banter as well. Yeah. So I would have, if I was City, I would have signed him, but I understand why City didn't. And that's why when we were linked to him, I was like, City won't buy him. Because I even tweeted the other day about.
I think you even no. I think I remember seeing your tweet actually.
Yeah, I said I wish City would just be shameless and do it, but they won't. I know what City are like. They're not that kind of club. They're not. They never have been. Like, just not that way. I think City, the way we do things is like they'd rather kind of. It's kind of like, you know, when you have like a girl at school and like everyone wants to date this girl because she's like dead pretty. And she kind of goes around all the boys and dates all the boys. And then you get some boys that are like, I'm not dating a girl that's dated my mate. So she'll go out of her way to find someone else. And that's what City are like. Like, City aren't interested in these players that everyone wants. The minute so many people jump on, Man City tend to fall back. And that's why I don't think we'll get Haaland, because we'll probably go for Haaland. The minute 3 or 4 clubs jump in, City will just back out. So I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one, but yeah, I think we've not put ourselves in a great situation. The league's going to be harder. Everyone's strengthening, and I don't think we can do it without a striker. So I think we've put ourselves in a bad situation personally. But we'll have.
Aren't you linked with? I forgot his name. I swear it starts with a V or something.
Oh, the striker, Vulovic or something like that?
Yeah, that's the guy, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Like, he, to me, is more of a Man City sort of signing. He's not that well known. Obviously, he did well in Serie A and he won, like, Young Player of the Year or whatever. So, you know, he's obviously a good player. He scored quite a few goals. But he strikes me as someone more that Man City would go for. Someone that's kind of not made it yet. Because City like them sort of players. He's quite young as well. So, yeah, I could see City going for someone like that. We were linked to him, and then it was, we're going for Harry Kane. Now Harry Kane's ruled out. Who knows? But I think we need to get someone in, to be honest. Because Haaland is not one of them that you can rely on. He's someone that you get, and you'd be surprised when you get him. I don't think it's one of them that you can say, we're going to go for Haaland and get Haaland. It's not going to be that simple.
Yeah, but
yeah.
No, because if you think about it, yeah, if you look at City right now, yeah, you look at that team, and literally all you need is that striker. That's all you need. Like, that team would be so deadly with a good striker. Like, it's just right now you're missing. I don't know. I mean, that's why I think that personally, I think Chelsea will win the league this year because. I mean, look at them as a unit under Tuchel. Like, look,
Yeah.
They've just bought Lukaku. Like, I think unless City was to go out and get a striker, that's why I said Chelsea. But it all changes if City goes and gets a striker.
Yeah.
And a good striker, not just a little, not just like a backup, basically, but like I don't know, decent striker. Then it'll be more close. It'll be a lot more closer than what I'm thinking it would be.
Yeah.
But it'll. See, the funny thing is, yeah, we've got two of them that can't score, and you're gonna end up probably beating us tomorrow, like 4-0, with no striker, and we're gonna end up probably playing both of them and not even getting a goal, bro. Like, oh, it's weird, man. It's so weird, man. Like, tomorrow's game, I'm not looking forward to it because I just already know what's gonna happen. I already know what's gonna happen.
It's so interesting because, like, I always find when a lot of fans are like, this result's going to be 4-0, it's going to be 4-0, it's never what you think. So that worries me because I'm looking at the week that Man City have had, all the drama that's going on, the fact we don't have a striker, and I'm thinking, like, it could be one of them weekends where there's a shock result. And I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like it could be Arsenal beating City.
You're right. For my sake,
I hope I'm wrong. But I just feel like, you know, when you just have one of them weeks where it's like a bad week for the club from start to finish, I just feel like it's one of them. I'd be surprised if we got everything like 4-0. Yeah. Big up everyone in the comments, by the way. Please like the video if you haven't already and subscribe.
No, I'm here, right. Look, man said, if Pep doesn't beat Arsenal, that's a sack of Do
you know what? Usually we don't have trouble against Arsenal, to be honest. We've got a very good record against Arsenal, but
I think your last 11 matches you got 10 wins.
it's very good. But again, it's one of
that's
them.
like 95% fucking perfect. Like, that's like 98% perfect. Like.
Yeah, it's only in the FA Cup because we've not got a great record in the FA Cup, and I think you beat us in that twice, I think. But apart from that, in the league, we tend to do all right. Last season, I think we won both 1-0, and they were both Raheem Sterling. So yeah, we'll have to see. You know what? City are a weird one this season because the first game, Spurs, we didn't look ready for the season, I'd say. Like, we didn't look great. We did all right in terms of statistics. Like, it's not like we got battered by Spurs, like some people were making out. It was actually pretty even and more in City's favour. But obviously, when I was watching the game, I just thought City just don't look match fit, like Premier League fit. They just kind of looked a bit slow. The game was really slow, which doesn't benefit us at all. So that's kind of what I thought from the first game. The second game against Norwich, I actually thought City looked really good. I do know it's Norwich. I'm not going to do what Ryan did and say we're going to win the league after Norwich. But we looked good. A lot more clinical than we have been recently. So, yeah, I think it's one of them. If we play how we played against Norwich, we should win. If we play how we played against Tottenham, we're in for a long afternoon. So it depends on which City turn up. But yeah, I'm not doubtful about my team. I'm just saying this is one of them weeks where it's just been a weird week for the club. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, obviously, with the whole Benjamin Mendy situation. You know, that's not what you want to find out about one of your mates, that happened. So it's one of them. And I know that they knew before, but it's different when you get charged. Yeah, not my mate. Like I'm saying, these players, it's their friend, isn't it?
So I get what you mean. What, you actually know him?
No,
I'm about to say, what, you hadn't seen in Man City like that, yeah? Like, you actually know him?
Oh, my God, no.
You probably know Aguero and all of that, then.
Do you know what? Like, if I had to be friends with a City player, it would be Fernandinho. Definitely.
I know. I know. He's your goat, innit? He's your goat. So
I love Fernandinho. But yeah, I'm just hoping. Yeah, like Dupe says, I'm hoping that our players aren't distracted by that situation and stuff like that. And it's not an excuse. If you beat us, it's probably because you deserve to win. But I think at the same time, I just don't want, this week's been a bit mad for us, in it. So it could be one of them. But at the same time, like I said, if the team that turned up against Norwich turn up again, then hopefully we should be able to win. Jack Grealish looks good. And a lot of people are saying, oh, he's looked shit and all this. I think he's looked all right every time he's played. He's obviously getting used to Pep, because Pep has very specific instructions for his players, and it takes a while. We saw it with Cancelo. Everyone was kind of saying Cancelo was shit, and then last season he was great. So yeah, it takes a while. You can see what he's doing. He's already kind of getting sort of into different positions than he maybe was at Villa and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens, but I think he'll get better and better under Pep. Yeah, we're just going to have to see. We've got no left back now. City said they didn't want to sign a left back, which is strange because they knew about all this. Because I knew about this.
What about Zinchenko?
Zinchenko. So Zinchenko is our left back, but he's not actually.
Is that it?
Yeah. So we've got Cancelo that can play both, even though Cancelo is better on the right.
One thing is, would you have a backup?
So it'd be what I think our centre backs will be is either Zinchenko and Walker, or Walker and Cancelo. The problem is, if we get an injury, we're kind of fucked. If Cancelo gets injured, we've got Kyle Walker and Zinchenko. And then I think what Pep's going to do, my prediction would be that Pep changes Aki into a left back. That's what I think he will do. But it's just, I don't know. It is one of them. It's a bit, we need to get someone in, I think. Preferably someone that can play both sides, just in case we do get injuries. But yeah, I think it's going to be a bit, City are not, I don't know. City are not as bad as people are making out. Like, people are making out like, oh my God, because we haven't signed a striker, we got no chance. We're not going to get top four, all of that crap. I don't think it's that deep. But it's going to be hard for us to win the league, I think, if we don't sign a striker. That's what I would say. But what's your predictions for
tomorrow? I think it'll be a closer game than what the last two games were for Arsenal, because of we're now actually getting our team back. But I still don't see us doing a lot.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it's at City, so I just see us getting absolutely annihilated. Like, to be honest with you, I just see us getting absolutely annihilated. Like,
yeah,
it's the situation at Arsenal right now is with the players. They just seem like they're losing faith in Arteta's process. If that doesn't make sense, like it's peak at Arsenal right now, man. Like, that's why I want this takeover to happen, so we can have I can have the same fucking talks about, like, oh, did you see who Arsenal bought? They'd spent 120 million on this guy, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I just see, look, I'll be happy if he was to get a draw. I mean, I'll be over the moon if he was to win, but I mean, if he was to get a draw, I'd be happy. But I just don't see us even getting a goal, to be honest. Like, we might get a consolation goal, maybe, but I still see us just getting absolutely fucking pummeled, to be honest. Like, I
don't know about that.
I don't know. I just see it being for some reason when City play Arsenal, apart from last season, when City play Arsenal, they just turn up against us.
Yeah.
They just be like, yeah, this is Arsenal. We don't have to worry.
Yeah,
you end up treating us like a relegation team. Like, it's mad. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. It'll be a tough one. Like, I just want to see what the lineup's going to be, to be honest.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. The good thing is that Mendy can't play for us because he was terrible against Spurs. Terrible, very, very bad. So we can't do worse. That's one good thing. But yeah, I don't know. Like City, like I say, if we turn up, we should be all right. But it's just getting everyone focused, and hopefully, we can win. We should be winning from a City point of view.
From a football point of view.
Yeah, it's just been a bit of a weird week. That's why I'm a bit like I'm not nervous.
And now, like it's weird. It's even got even weirder. Literally, just now they've tweeted out. The PSG guy just tweeted out saying they're gonna go bid for Haaland.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, because they want obviously
the replacement for
gonna leave.
Mbappe,
they want Haaland.
Yeah, like, what is going on in this window? This is the craziest window ever.
The craziest transfer window. It's just because everyone's left. Because it's like Messi. Like no one thought Messi would leave. Obviously, he didn't choose to leave. Like people are acting like Messi handed in a transfer request. He wanted to stay. They couldn't register him, so he had to leave. He was forced into a move. Cristiano Ronaldo, on the other hand, has decided that he wants to leave. So it's a different.
I think what I was hearing with the Ronaldo one, he was in a similar predicament where it wasn't the fact they couldn't afford his wages. It's just the fact that if they kept paying his wages, they would go bust basically.
Oh, okay,
yeah. They wanted him out of the club because of the wage situation.
Yeah. But that's what's happening with a lot of these players, though, because people are signing footballers on ridiculous wages, and it's like you can't maintain it. Like Man City actually have quite a good wage structure, because if you think about it, like people talk about Man City all the time and say, "Oh, but with the squad depth that they have, with the squad depth this, squad depth that," what they don't realize is we don't even have the highest wage bill. So we have a lot of squad depth, but our wage bill is not even the highest. So that means that we have a lot more players that are better quality on lower wages, if that makes sense. So City's wage bill is the reason why we didn't go for Messi, which to me, I don't agree with, because I think with Messi, you have to sometimes just break it a little bit. It's different. And Messi is 2 years. So it's not like it's a 7-year contract and you've got to pay ridiculous wages. It's 2 years. And it would have been worth it, I think, more than worth it. So I'm surprised by that.
It would have been nice to see Messi in the Premier League still.
Yeah. But Man City just they stick to their guns with stuff like this, and it has made us lose out on quite a few players. Van Dijk was one. We wouldn't go higher. Maguire, Fred. Some of them haven't worked out. Like they've not been the best for their teams, but some of them we probably could have done with. So yeah, it's interesting, but I don't hate it. It's just kind of it's annoying in situations, because it's like we're gonna go next season and Haaland's going to be available, and we're not going to get Haaland because of the wage bill, because of the wage structure, because of that. And it's just like, I don't know, buying a player like Haaland is for me a very good investment. And I just think it either works out and you've got yourself a baller and a half for a long period of time, or he doesn't work out and you sell him in his prime for probably more than you paid for him. So it's a win-win situation for me, because he's going to score goals. It's just if it doesn't, what I mean by not working out is literally he doesn't fit our system or something like that. Like João Felix at Atletico
Madrid. Matip is dead. Sorry, I was just trying to write.
He's still a very, very good player, but Atletico are not getting the best out of João Felix. So if he left, we would see the best out of him. So yeah, I think it's just one of them situations, but I don't know. I don't know what City are going to do. Hopefully we win tomorrow. We need to win because we've obviously lost our first game. It didn't help. This title race is going to be very dramatic this season.
This year, I know Arsenal aren't involved in it, but this year it's going to be very, very
It's just mad because it's like every week it changes. So like at the start of the window, everyone was saying City are going to win the league again, blah, blah, blah. Then Liverpool fans were saying we've got our players back, we're going to win it. We've got a fully fit squad. And then, you've got Chelsea fans that were like, we're going to win it. We've just won the the Champions League, and we're going to buy a striker. So they've gone and bought a striker. They're trying to get Kunde in. They're like in a better position. Their players that they bought last year should technically get better this year because it's second season. So Chelsea were like adamant they were going to win it. And then now you've got Man United who were trying to rule themselves out, even though they've spent a shitload of money as well. They're trying to rule themselves out as usual. But now they've bought Cristiano Ronaldo. So really and truly, they don't have any excuse. So it's going to be a very interesting title race because there's quite a few teams in there that kind of have to win the league. I think Chelsea are going to be under pressure to win it because even though they've just won the Champions League, you can't win the Champions League and then win nothing the next season. Like they need to probably win the league just because.
And it's not like when you do win something in the next season, it can't just be like a little trophy. It has to be a major trophy as well.
Yeah,
Regardless if it's a Champions League or Premier League, one of them two.
Yeah, because if you're the best in Europe, you should be able to win your home league. You should. Yeah. That's just the way it goes. So they should be winning the league. Liverpool, because they've not really strengthened, I don't really expect them to win it, but they've still got a team that are capable. Man City, we don't need to win it because we've just won it. But again, the standard for Man City is...
Man City's main focus now would be more Champions League.
Yeah. But I think we still have to... If we do not challenge in the Premier League, our fans will get onto our team because our fans, they care more for the Premier League than they do Champions League. So as a club, they're going to go for the Champions League, but they have to compete in the Premier League. Otherwise, our fans are not going to be very happy. So there's that. Then Man United, with the money they've now spent and the players that they've brought in, there shouldn't be an excuse for Man United right now. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm kind of excited because we won the league last year. I'm kind of excited for what's going to happen now. But
this top four this year is going to be crazy, bro. I can see the games being absolutely mad.
Yeah.
Some of the games are going to be mad. Like some of them are going to be like last year, very tactical, boring.
Yeah.
I reckon we're going to see a couple more mad games this year because of the crowd coming back and let's be honest, crowds do have a big part in football. Like they have a massive part in football, especially if you're the home team and you're losing and you end up getting that crowd resurgence. You end up it's like it's going to be interesting, man. I'm even though Arsenal aren't in the actual mix, I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm upset that Arsenal aren't in the mix. Don't get it twisted. Arsenal should be in the mix, but obviously Stan Kroenke. But as a football fan itself, like it's going to be mad this year. I reckon this season is going to be the best season so far, entertainment-wise, for the last few years anyway.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, 2018, you ran away with it. Wait, 2017...
So 2017, I think.
No, what was the Centurion year?
That was 17-18.
Oh, because so 17-18.
And then 18-19 was the one we won, and then 19-20 was Liverpool, and then
So that's what I mean. So you ran away with it.
Yeah, 17
year, and then the next year you ran away with it with Liverpool.
Just
ran away.
Liverpool, yeah,
and then the next year Liverpool just won away.
Yeah.
So it hasn't really been too close. Whereas this year, I actually see it being kind of close. Like it's going to be one of them. Like, do you know what I haven't seen in a while? And I think the last time I saw it was, I might be wrong, but I think the last time I saw it was when it was City United, last game of the season.
Oh yeah.
You know, I've not seen a title, like a title, last day of the season title.
We've had. It's a weird one. We've had a few because that 18-19 season we did win it on the last day, but it was all in our hands. So it was a case
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Liverpool could not win the league. Whereas, like you say, that 2012 season, Man United or City could have won it on the last day. And it wasn't a case of if City, obviously if City won, we were going to win because our goal difference was a lot higher. But it was one of them, if we drew, Man United would have won it. Like, it's just one of them things. It was a lot.
That's what I mean. Like, I've not seen like something like that in so long.
It's still the same thing, because if we'd have drawn, Liverpool would have won it. But it's like it felt a lot closer back 2012. And then we had another one where we played West Ham on the last day in 2014. But that one, again, we were, I think, 2 points ahead of Liverpool. So I think we only needed a draw to win the league that day. So we've had some on the last day of the season, but that one's probably the closest that it's ever been.
Yeah, like the excitement to it. Like, like with the excitement that comes with it. Like, I remember back in the day, even when it was like top four, and see if it was Chelsea, United, and Arsenal competing, and it would get to like the last 2 games or 3 games of the season, and there will be 1 weekend or 2 weekends in particular where you'll be able to watch Arsenal, or you could press the red button.
Yeah.
You press the button and just go to like the Chelsea game or the United game. It was mad. I remember that. Like, the last time I actually seen an exciting end of the season was that City United one.
Yeah.
But since then, I've not really...
Obviously, from a fan point of view, I prefer it when we run away with it, just because the stress of that sort of situation. Like, even 2012, like, I remember the night before that game, I must have posted something on Instagram, and it was like a picture, and it said the pride of Manchester. It's like Man City, the pride of Manchester. And I must have put something like, whatever happens tomorrow, City till I die. I remember going to the game. I wasn't particularly nervous. It's really weird. Like, I went to that game and I was like, shit, we can win the league. And then I was like, the whole typical City thing kicked in. And, like, obviously when we were 1-0 up, I was like, oh, shit, we could actually win the league today. Then when it went 2-1, I was like, typical City, we fucked it. I was so pissed off, because I was like, I just know, because a lot of the people I know support Man United. So I was like, I know I'm just going to come out to a bunch of texts. Oh, you're shit. Champions of England, all that crap. And I was like, oh, City have actually fucked this up. Like, I was so pissed off. And, like, I remember when Dzeko scored, it's the only goal that I didn't celebrate. Like, I did not celebrate it at all. And my dad was, like, celebrating. And I'm like, Dad, I said, it's too late. It's too little too late. Because that pissed me off more. Because it's like, if we draw this game, it's even worse. Because it's like, you came this close and you didn't do it. So I was pissed. And my dad was like, we have time. Don't worry, we have time. And I was like, we don't have time. Because, like, at this point, like, at the stadium, it doesn't actually tell you how many minutes into extra time. It just says, 0-0, whatever.
Yeah,
or 90. So it's like, we didn't know what the time was. It just said 90, and it was just stopped. So I'm like, I don't even know how many minutes are left. It felt like loads of time had gone past, and I was like, we're not going to win this league. I was so pissed. And then I seen Aguero, and that is the first goal I've celebrated before it even left his foot. Like, you just knew it was going in, and it was just pandemonium that day.
From the way the commentators started, because obviously I was watching it a whole minute. It's the way the commentators started. Aguero, you just knew it was going in, because the build up to it. Balotelli, Aguero. I was like,
oh my god, that's the best moment of my life. Like, nothing will top that. Nothing will top that. People talk about, oh, if you win the Champions League, it ain't gonna top that. It's not, because the difference between that and anything that happens now is, one, we're expected to win trophies. So when we win stuff now, even when we win the Champions League, it will be like, oh, City finally won the Champions League. So it's a bit different. Secondly,
right now it's different for you. Yeah, now it's because of the whole past 10 years now. 10 years have gone by
Yeah,
now.
it's
Like
different,
you're a known club to be winning
Yeah.
major, like the Premier League, and to be spending, like to be getting the big players in, and like whereas 10 years ago,
I think could have topped it would have been if we played Man United in a Champions League final and Aguero had scored the goal. I think that's the only thing that could have topped it. Or maybe like a Phil Foden scoring in the final against Man United. That's
if
the
I
only
was to ever see a City United final Champions League, I am. Oh my God, Jan, trust me, I'll buy a City shirt just for that day.
I'm not watching that. You must be mad.
I'll watch it on your behalf. I swear down. I'll watch it on your behalf. I'll be the City fan that day, bro. Because I swear to God, if City was to do it, Flawless is getting the first text.
Do you know what? If that ever happened, I would have to go because there is no way that I'd be watching that on TV. There's just no way. Not gonna happen. Never. Like, I hate Manchester Derby Day as it is. You feel sick. You can't eat. It's a horrible day. I hate it.
I used to hate North London Day, like North London, but now I'm not even bothered with it no more. Like,
yeah, it depends what you're competing for. Because it's like when Man United beat us. Now it's not the same. Like when Man United used to beat us, you'd be gutted. But now it's like, are you gonna win the league? If it's no, then I'm not as fussed. Like obviously, yeah, it's annoying to lose a derby. Everyone hates it. But I'm not gutted when Man City are like winning the league and Man United beat us. It's just like a bump in the road. It's not. It's kind of like how they felt when we used to beat them. But yeah, it's just interesting because I think the fact that it was against Man United as well added to it. Because if we were playing, if that was Arsenal or Chelsea or
it wouldn't been so
anyone else, it would have been different. It would have still been Aguero, and that's
it would have still been a big thing.
Yeah,
but the intensity of it wouldn't have been as much because because obviously if you would have snatched it away from Arsenal or your Chelsea or Liverpool, because it's not the same, but because it's your next door neighbours that you did it to, like the ones that are like, Manchester is red. Well, I don't think about that anymore. But
that really is when the power shift started, because obviously after that they bought Van Persie. They won the league, but the dominance that they had kind of ended around then. So, but it's interesting because it's like Chelsea and City. I was saying the other day, we're never in title races together. When Chelsea win the league, City are very rarely anyway.
Yeah. I've noticed. Actually, I've noticed that, you know.
Yeah, we're never. So that's why I'm saying like this.
The one year, it's true actually. The years that Chelsea end up winning the league.
City
end up having a bad season.
Yeah. It's weird. That's why we're saying this season, if Chelsea win it, I don't know if we'll finish second. Like, it's one of them. We'll probably finish third or something like that if Chelsea win it. And if City win it, Chelsea will probably end up finishing third. It's just a weird situation. Like I was saying at the start of the season, this might be City and Chelsea's first title race, like together, in terms of actually competing.
Yeah, like probably like going against each other for the title.
Yeah. I think if we get a striker, it will be. If not, I think Chelsea will finish above us. I don't know. Stop bringing up Frank Kane is better than Suarez, man. It's not true.
Yeah, look at Ryan's agenda, bro. This agenda.
You missed the Suarez and then, you missed that out. You spelled it wrong.
So great for Liverpool.
God, I don't know. It's just this season's a bit of a weird one. Like, I'm actually excited for it because all I'm seeing, especially because I do streaming now, all I'm seeing is fans going, "We're going to win the league." So it's just going to be funny at the end of the season to laugh at everyone that said they were going to win it that didn't. To be honest, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm not saying it, innit? Unless the investment comes on, I'm not saying that. As soon as that investment comes in, trust me, I'll be the most shameless guy. We're winning it this year. And if it's not this year, we're winning it next year.
Do you know what? I don't even hate if Arsenal did get bought out, because the way I see it is
the only one. No. Can I say one thing? Yeah? I've noticed in the last couple of days since this rumor's been going about, the only fan base that's actually said something about it is Chelsea fans.
Yeah.
Man United fan, they don't give a toss.
Yeah.
City fans, they don't give a toss.
Yeah.
Liverpool fans, they don't give a toss.
Yeah.
It's only been Chelsea fans I've been hearing piping up again. Because the one thing I hate about Chelsea, is they've lived in our shadow for so long that they're not even in our shadow anymore. We're in their shadow, but they still treat it like they're in our shadow. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if you think about the last 15 years was when that sort of, you see how power changed in Manchester with City and Man United. That's when the power changed with Chelsea and Arsenal.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Around 2005, that's when the power started getting shifted in London. But the Chelsea fans have always sort of compared them. They always love comparing themselves to us.
Mm. See, Chelsea, a lot of people are saying with Chelsea, like, it's a bit, because technically their rivals, in terms of local rivals, would be Fulham. But it's like Fulham are not,
or QPR.
They're not competing, yeah. So it's kind of like with us, like Man United are our local rivals. They always have been. There's always
so our local rivals is Spurs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're
like,
big enough.
You always have that local rival. So like a lot of United fans that are like based outside of Manchester will say things like, "Oh, United fans don't care about City, blah 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 blah." I think we've just seen over the last day or two how much they actually do care about City. They pretend that they don't, but I'm hearing City. We got Ronaldo now. We got one over City.
I don't want him. He's a pagan. This and that. This and that.
Yeah. It's the way it is you always have your local rivals. And the thing is with City is like City weren't always good. And that's why Man United will see more Liverpool and Arsenal as their rivals because that's who they were competing with. But the word rival, what people get twisted is the word rival means two things. You've either got your local rivals who are there because of the locality of the club, like Everton for Liverpool, City for United and blah, blah. And then you've got the actual rivals, which the word rival actually means who you're competing with for the same thing. So if you're both going for the league, you're a rival. So people saying Man City are not our rivals, what they're actually saying is we are not competing for the Premier League. So that's not our rival. Because if you're competing for the Premier League, you are our rivals naturally because you're going for the same thing. So what a lot of people get confused is what the word rivalry actually means and then start saying things like, you're trying to create a rivalry. Well, no, we're not actually because we don't really want anyone in particular to be fighting for the title with us. We just want to win it every season. So we're not creating no rivalry. What happens is when you're competing for the same thing, obviously you're going to have more hate for that team. So like with Chelsea, because their rivals are Fulham aren't competing with Chelsea in terms of trophies. Like they're not going for the same trophy. So it's always going to be a case of them go to the clubs that are competing for whatever. But it's weird because like you say, Arsenal aren't competing right now for that. Spurs aren't competing right now for that. So they're just kind of like the only club in London that are competing with clubs outside of London, if that makes sense. So they're obviously going to go for Arsenal. Yeah, because Arsenal, like, Tottenham aren't winning any trophies. QPR aren't winning any trophies. You know, none of them teams, Fulham, Palace, none of them teams are winning anything. West Ham, you could argue, are, like, doing okay. You know, you've got Arsenal that, you know, win trophies from time to time. So it's a weird one. It's a weird one because Chelsea, it's not like City where we've got, like, Liverpool down the road, Man United, you know, around the corner sort of thing. It's a bit different because there's a lot of clubs in Manchester, like around Manchester. There's a lot of clubs, but most of them are not really competing with us. It's only Man United who aren't, to be fair, competing for any trophies right now, to be fair. But they will be by the end of the season, I would think. They have to. Surely they have to win a trophy this year. They can't go trophyless. With that team...
You can't buy Ronaldo and
You
Sancho
can't.
and Varane,
They
and then end up with a trophy list.
They can't, man. They have to win at least a double, man. They can't just win one trophy with that. Imagine the Carabao Cup with them playing. Like, they can't. They can't, man.
Well, the Carabao Cup is your cup, so you have to lend it to them.
I know, innit? I just can't see us winning 5 in a row. I think that's a lot. 5 in a row. That is a lot. 4 was shocking enough. I think 5 is a bit too much. So I actually think City will actually go backwards this season. And it's not that we'll go backwards in terms of we're going to get a lot worse. I just think naturally, the season that we had last year, it's hard to kind of do the same thing back to back.
Yeah.
So to go from winning the league to winning the league again, Champions League final to winning the Champions League, I just think it's a lot. So I think we probably won't get to a Champions League final, and we probably won't win the league, and everyone will have a meltdown, and then City will come back next season. That's not what happens. It's not going to be the end of the world.
Well, look, City they're all right. Like, do you believe the rumors that Pep might? Is he leaving it in 2 years, or was that just a rumor?
Yeah, like he said that he's leaving.
He wants to do international football.
Yeah, like he's always said, because we've spoke a lot on this channel about what's going to happen with Pep. I do think England should try and get him because I think he'd be great for England. But yeah, he has stayed longer than he wanted to stay. He always said that he was going to come for a bit and then leave. He stayed longer. He's extended his contract.
I think with him, he wants that. I think he really wants that Champions League.
Yeah.
I think he wants it more than what he had it when he was at Bayern Munich, and I think he wants it more with City than anything else, because I think he wants that. Maybe I don't know if it's for his sake or Manchester City's sake, as in because of the Man United, they've got free sort of thing. So it'd be nice to have.
It's a bit of both, I think, because like the thing is with City is like our club are adamant that they brought Pep in to dominate, which is what he has been doing in England. The Champions League is a weird one because I don't think you can specifically get anyone in to win that. Because if you'd have said to Chelsea fans last season, you want to win the Champions League, who are you getting in? They're not saying Tuchel. They're not. Like, they would have said someone else, Zidane or someone like that. And he's come in and won it for them. So it's one of them. I don't think you can necessarily bring someone in specifically for that. But a club like Man City are expected to win it. So I do think he wants to win it. If he wins it with City, he puts himself that he goes down in history at Man City. Don't get me wrong, he's already in the Man City history. But right now, he
basically asserts himself as the guy.
Because then he's won everything. He would have won everything at Man City. So it's like, if he does that, it just it puts him up the ranks as a manager on top of what he's already done, which is brilliant. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he himself would have 3 Champions League as a manager and 4 altogether. So that is crazy for him, So, yeah, it would put him in a different bracket. So I think he does want to win it. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I think I did say 3 to 5 years last year, so I'm going to stick to that and say 2 to 4 years now. I do think it will come eventually. It probably will be when Pep leaves. We'll probably get someone in after Pep who no one
end up winning it.
Yeah, and they'll come in and they'll probably win it. I think
City fans will get gas, but be so pissed off at the same, like, bro, why Pep? Pep, you could have done this.
Yeah. But I think the thing is with Pep is a genius, right? So it's one of them. It's kind of like with Pep, because he's such a genius, he can't do the basics. So most managers would go into that Champions League final and they'd look at the team and they'd say, okay, this starting 11 tore PSG apart in the second leg. Let me start that same team and see what happens. But Pep didn't do that. Pep wanted to change it. He overthought it. He brought in Sterling. who was on terrible form. He took out a DM. Like, he changed the whole formation to fit Sterling in when Sterling wasn't even on form. Like, all of that is because he's overthinking it. Whereas if he was a basic manager who had no managerial skill or anything like that, he would have just looked at that PSG lineup, put the same team out. And to be fair to him, I love Pep, and I like the fact that Pep is not scared to sort of take any responsibility. But really and truly, if he wanted to, he could have played that same lineup as PSG. And even if we got beat, he could have just said, I played the same team that beat PSG. It's not my fault they didn't turn up. He could have literally blamed it on the players and got away with it. But he didn't do that. He decided to go with something and he took the blame. So I can't really fault him for that. But yeah, I think if he wasn't such a genius, he just does the basics. And I think, I'm not saying we would have won that game because Chelsea were very good, but we would have given ourselves a chance. And I just don't think we did with the team that we put out and the way we played, really. But yeah, he keeps doing it. A lot of City fans are kind of getting a bit annoyed with Pep because he keeps doing it, and it's annoying because it's just like everyone can see it. And, you know, last season I was like, he's not overthought it. He didn't overthink it once. He played the correct team all the way through. We didn't even lose a single game. We didn't concede many goals. And then we get to the final and he decides to just change it. And then we just don't look very good. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I love Pep. We will have to downgrade when he leaves because I don't think there's a manager out there better than him right now. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
Arteta,
innit? Wow.
Yeah, well.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. It wouldn't surprise me. Pep was saying he hopes that Vincent Kompany is the manager. I'm thinking he ain't ready. He just got knocked out the Conference League. Like, he's not ready yet.
Nowhere near ready.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think the score's going to be tomorrow? I know you said 1-0. You hope it's 1-0.
Score tomorrow. Realistically, I could see 3-0 City, but I hope we win. Something. I just hope we score. Fuck it. Fuck the win. I just hope we score.
I know you need a goal of the month, innit? I think it's nailed on that you score. I don't know, because I would have said if Man City are on point, like if Man City come out and play how we can play, then I would say maybe 3-1 City, because I do think he'll score. But it could be a 1-0 Arsenal kind of result. It could be. If the Tottenham City turn up, then it could be 1-0.
The problem is, if we do win, that gives Arteta more leeway.
Yeah, I know, because my sister was saying that she's not watching Arsenal again until he gets sacked. But if you beat City, it will give him a long time, you know. Ole beating Pep has kept him in a job at Man United, because if he didn't...
100%. 100%. I truly believe that as well.
Yeah.
I truly believe that as well.
Derby, like, is a big thing. And because he's winning them, he's not going nowhere. But the thing is, Pep needs to start winning the Manchester derbies, because I love Pep, but you don't take the derby seriously. If you see the way he sets up against Liverpool and the way he sets up against Man United, he's not interested. And it's just like, you can't go into a derby as a Man City manager and not give a shit. Like, you just can't. Like, I want to see him arguing with Ollie, fights breaking out. This is a derby. Like, Mancini.
That's what a derby is.
Cussing out.
Yeah, fuck you, you dickhead.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. It's a derby. It's so annoying. Like, but I think Pep just doesn't see it. He sees them as local rivals, not actual rivals. So yeah, it's just one of them. Big up Stephen.
I'm Arteta out. I've been Arteta out for the last year, basically. But yeah, man, it is what it is. Yeah, no, I hear that, man. Like, I agree with you, man. It depends what City turns up, but even if the only the only thing I'll be happy with if we do lose is if we actually lose with pride.
Yeah,
Like we don't just sit back and get our asses whipped. Do you know what I mean? We actually lose with pride. If we lose with pride, then I'll be like, say if we ended up losing like 2-1.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of them games where maybe City do deserve it, but if a draw came out of it, no one would complain. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So for me, as well, like I'm glad we won 6-0. I know it was only against West Brom's under 22s, 21s, whatever. But I'm just hoping that gives us a little bit of confidence.
Yeah.
Going into this game, because obviously before that game we hadn't actually scored a goal, and then we get 6.
Yeah.
In one night, like, so I'm not expecting us to go fucking dominate City, but I just hope that gives us the confidence to in that City game where we won't get pushed over. Pretty much.
Yeah, I hope we win.
If you don't win, though, I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna get the first tag that's coming is from me. I'm like, yo, Jan, I'm sorry you didn't win.
You know what's mad? Like, it's so funny because like I always predict things, and then people try and banter me for what I've predicted, which really annoys me. Like, I will say something like, when it was Kane, I was like, City are not getting Kane. And then, like, when City didn't get Kane, people come to me like, oh, City didn't get Kane. And it's like, I done told you that 3 months ago. And then I'm like,
do you want me to get my tweet that I told you?
Yeah, and then
let me just get that tweet that I said it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I've had so many texts today about Cristiano Ronaldo. And I'm like, read my tweets. I've been telling you it ain't going to happen for the past week. But all of a sudden now, because you've signed him, you're going to come to me and start chatting shit. Like, it's just one of them things. Like, people call me negative because I'm not, like, always saying City are going to win every game. But at the same time, it's just like, you've got to be realistic about stuff. Like, City have had a proper shit week as a club. So I just think of it as we could potentially end up losing tomorrow. And it's not necessarily because, you know, I don't know. It just strikes me as one of them weird weeks. And it's not to say Arsenal wouldn't deserve it if you win, because obviously if you beat us, you deserve it. I'm not one of them. Unless you do something dodgy, like attack one of our players and you get left on the pitch, like that sort of thing. Or it's a clear offside goal and VAR give it, that sort of thing. But, you know, usually if you beat us, you do deserve to win. So I don't know. It's just been a weird week. It's just been. I'm with Zayn.
One of the weirdest weeks in football ever. Like,
week of football.
Transfers and what's been going on in the inside of certain teams and certain players. It's been so weird this week.
Yeah,
no one's ever going to forget this.
Me feel a bit. And plus, like Man City, when we have the early kickoff on a Saturday, our results are not great. Like City,
we're shit for Saturdays as well. Early.
Yeah, that first thing to ruin your whole weekend. City are the best at 3:00 on a Saturday when no one's watching us. We're the best in them sort of things. So all of that put into it, like I'm just not. It's not a game that I'd go into and feel confident. I know people say that I'm negative about my team and stuff, but you know you've got to look at all the factors in it. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope that we win tomorrow. It's comfortable. You know, Ferran Torres scores. That's who I want to score. But I don't know, you know. I don't know. It's a weird one. I'd be surprised if I'm sat here tomorrow night thinking, oh, my God, we panned Arsenal. I'd be surprised.
I wouldn't. I'll be more surprised. I'll be surprised if I'm sitting here tomorrow and be like, yeah, can't believe we didn't lose today.
It's so weird. Like, it's so weird.
Well, I can't believe we didn't let in more than one goal. Like, fucking hell, wasn't it? Yeah. It's going to be, tomorrow's... This is what the problem about 12:30 kickoffs are. it's either gonna make your weekend or break your
ruin
weekend.
it. Yeah, no.
It's crazy. And then Mr. Look who it is. Oh shit!
Yeah, he's not trying to join. S Packer, what's my impression about Grealish? You know, I said it earlier. Like, I think Grealish has looked good when he's played so far. A lot of people are saying he's not worth 100 million and all that crap, but I think he's looked all right. It does take.
It's that English chap, though, isn't it? Like, if his name was
exactly
Jacques Grealish from Marseille, he would have probably cost you like 60 mil.
Yeah.
But English tax.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's the whole English tax. It's the fact that people like Rice were being quoted 80 million. You can't sell a Declan Rice for 80 million and then get Jack Grealish for 60. It's just not going to happen. He's always going to be above that. He had a buyout clause where if you spend 100 million, you could get him. City triggered that. So that's why, it was set by his agent and we triggered it. So it's a little bit different. It's not like City went there and said, he's worth 50 mil, we'll give you 100. That didn't happen. So, yeah, I think he's done all right so far. I think it'll take him a little bit of time to get used to Pep, just because Pep demands different things from his players.
Yeah,
he looks good so far. We needed to take the pressure off De Bruyne. I think De Bruyne, there's too much pressure. All you have to do really to stop City is just get on De Bruyne. And, when we were doing so well was when we had De Bruyne and David Silva, because David Silva was a lot of work. So for defenders to keep hold of De Bruyne and David Silva was very difficult. And that's why City used to run away with the games. Now that David Silva's gone, it's a little bit easier to control City. Bernardo Silva, don't get me wrong, he's good, but he's not quite a David Silva. So it's just we need like other options because I think a lot of the ball goes through De Bruyne and we need another option. So when it's not working, because people have to defend against Grealish. So you've got people that might have normally been on De Bruyne that are now on Grealish.
Yeah.
So it's
and then it makes basically De Bruyne's job.
Yeah, a little bit easier. It gets a bit more space and stuff like that. So
he's not playing tomorrow, is he? So
no, he's injured again. He's always injured. It's annoying right now, and it's annoying when people play him with an injury, knowing that he's going to get injured for longer, and they don't give a shit because they're not a City manager. So that's annoying. Everyone predicted it.
Oh, you're talking about Mr. Martinez.
Yeah. It's annoying because
Martinez and Thierry Henry. Yeah, you're talking about them two then.
Well, City fans were saying, do not play De Bruyne. He is going to be injured for a long time. And, he played him. They went out anyway. It was just, it's annoying. And to be fair, it's a good job they went out because if they'd gone through, we would have played him again. So I'm glad that he went out at that stage. But obviously, it's led to a more serious injury now. So yeah, it's not great. It's not great because he is our best player. Yeah, Gavi is a better winger than striker. He's not a striker. Anyone that runs into the box and their first thought is pass is not a striker. Don't get me wrong. If you're in a situation where there's two defenders around you and there's an easy pass for a tap in, pass it. But he doesn't even when there's no one in the box, he's looking to pass. So you're not a striker. You're not a striker. Shoot. If you're a striker, you would shoot. So
he hasn't got the cojones.
Yeah, he's not. But on the wing, he looks so much better. If you saw him against Norwich, if you saw him a few times last season when he was put out wide, he's a lot better. He's actually a very, very good player out wide. He's just not that man in the middle. So yeah, I don't know. Do I think we can survive without a striker this season? I think we can survive without a striker. I don't think we're going to fall off that much. People are acting like we've lost 3 players and we've not replaced them. We've lost Aguero, who played a small number of games last season and scored 6 goals. Bear in mind, 2 of them were in his last game. So, yeah, he didn't score very many. He didn't really play too well last season based on his injuries and stuff like that. So, yeah, we've not lost too many. We've actually bought Grealish. So we've actually improved our squad. But obviously, I think we need a striker to win the league just based on the competition. But yeah, we're not going to finish fifth because we don't have a striker. It's not going to happen. It'll just be that we might not win the league. I don't know if we'll retain it. It's very difficult to retain the Premier League anyway. You are supposed to, when you win the league, you are supposed to strengthen your team. That's what our chairman said, and then didn't do what he said he was going to do. So City fans aren't very happy at the moment. It's a bit different when your club can't afford someone, but when your club can afford a player for 150 million, but then can't afford a player that's on a free, who's the best player in the world, it's a bit mad. So I don't know. We'll have to see.
The way you put that analogy just made me go, I just thought about it. So you're telling me you can go out there and go spend 150 million, but when there's a guy for free.
Because his wages are too high. I don't care. You should have got the best player. You had an opportunity to get the best player in the world, and you turned it down. Then you had an opportunity to get the second best player in the world, and you turned it down. I don't know what's going on with this club. Crazy.
Oh man. I mean, could be worse right now. It could be Arsenal not knowing what the fuck's going on. You don't even know. You don't know what's going on, but at least you're going to be up there. We don't know what's going on because we don't even know where we're going to end up finishing.
I've always said it is worse your way around because, when I was a kid, City was shit. But it's kind of like I chose to support a club that weren't very good, whereas Arsenal fans didn't choose to support a club that weren't very good. And I'm just
the good. Well, in my era, to be honest with you, if it wasn't for my uncle, I'll probably be a Tottenham fan.
Oh God! Well, you dodged there.
So, because my mum and dad both Tottenham fans, aren't they?
Are they?
Yeah. So my uncle took me to my first ever football match, and it was Arsenal.
Wow.
And I just fell in love with Arsenal since then.
That's mad.
My uncle even got me a shirt saying me and my dad both hate Spurs.
Oh, shame.
And I wore it to my dad's the next week.
Oh my God. That's like my kid being a United fan. That could never happen, you know. I would disown that kid quick. That kid would be going into care. There's just no way. They're actually getting adopted. No association.
What it is, my partner says, so what would you do, if Matthew was to walk in the house one day with a Chelsea shirt on? I said, well, both you and him are walking out with bags.
Exactly. Yeah, there's just I know people do it. Obviously, my mum is a Liverpool fan, but my dad's a City fan. But she's Scouse, so that's why she's a Liverpool fan. But yeah, it's just I couldn't do that. Any other team, apart from United or Spurs, my kid is not being a spud. It's not happening. They're not supporting Spurs, and they're not supporting United.
It's
Chelsea,
like my mate.
It's not ideal, but it's not the worst.
It's like with my mate, he's a United fan. His partner is an Arsenal fan, but the partner's mum is more of an Arsenal. She is diehard Arsenal. Yeah.
Yeah.
His son supports Arsenal. So what they did one day, he must have been about 3-4 years old. They bought him a United kit and an Arsenal kit.
Oh God!
Yeah. And said choose, and he chose the Arsenal kit because he goes, I want to be in Arsenal like Nan. Oh, when my guy told me that, you could even hear it through the phone, the pain in his voice. His own son has betrayed him.
No, that's actually
that's what I always teach.
Not getting that option. The only way my kid is wearing a Man United shirt is if Man United signs big money and they United for their career. That's the only way my kid is wearing the United shirt. I don't care. It's not happening. You know, like it's just not.
Same. I said to my partner, the only way you're gonna see my son in a Chelsea or Spurs shirt is if he plays for them himself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and even then,
if he's not a footballer and he doesn't play for them, you will not see them in a blue or white football shirt.
Yeah, it's true.
Like they will be in a red shirt, which is going to be Arsenal.
Yeah, big up, Dufe. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't, guys. But yeah, no, I just think it's one of them things. Like I just couldn't. I don't know how people do it. Like their kid, because my cousin, he's a United fan, which is really weird because like my whole family are pretty much City, and he grew up near Main Road. Like his house literally backed onto Main Road, and his friends even played for Man City, and he was a United fan. It's really weird. And my dad used to always mock him, like saying, "Oh, you couldn't even go to Old Trafford when you were a kid." Because they didn't really like black people going there at that, you know, back in the day when he was a kid, and so it's like he used to mock him and stuff like that. And he had a son, and he was like, "My son's gonna be a United fan," and like we'd have like when he was a kid, we'd have like, you know, like balls from like a ball pool, and there'd be like a red one, a blue one, and he'd be like, "Pick one," and be like that with the red, and like the kid would like pick the red, and he'd be like, "Oh, see." He's going to be a United fan.
He's like pushing the red more in front of the blue. Like, I get it.
Kid, like he lived with his mum, innit? And he asked his dad when he was young, "Dad, can you buy me a Man City kit?" So he was like, "Oh," so he had to buy his son a City kit, and then he had another son with, you know, that lived with him. Like they live near Liverpool now, and his girlfriend is like a Liverpool fan. So this kid was a Liverpool fan when he was a kid. So he had a City fan and a Liverpool fan. And then the younger one.
United dad. Oh.
Yeah. And the younger one, he decided when he got a bit older that he wanted to be like his brother. And he's now a diehard City fan. So he's got 2 City fans as kids. And to the point where he asks me to take his son to City now. And you know what? The last game I went to before the other day was the Carabao Cup final against Aston Villa. And he actually came with his son as a United fan to watch City win a trophy. Like, it's that deep. And it's just like, you should have just supported City. Like, you're dumb at United. And now you've got these kids. But me personally, I couldn't do it. Do you think I'm going to Old Trafford with my child to watch them win a trophy? It's just not happening. Not happening. Not at all. Big up to Nippon for the super chat. He says, Jan, who would you take as a replacement for Pep? Who should we downgrade to? You know who I would like? If I could say off the top of my head, he might not be best suited for City, but I'd like to see it, would be Zidane. I don't see Zidane coming because we have a lot of Barcelona people in our club. So I don't see it. But I wouldn't mind Zidane. I think he's done well in the Champions League. And he's just a good manager to me. But I don't think we'll get him. I think we'll get someone else. I don't know who that'll be. A few years ago, there was rumours about maybe Poch after Pep, but Poch has got a lot of pressure on his head right now. We'll see how he deals with it.
Oh my God. If he fails with PSG this season, he's going to be the biggest failure of a manager ever.
But the thing
he
is...
has to win the No. I don't think anyone understands. He has to win the Champions League this year.
He has to. That's a FIFA team. He has to.
That is literally a FIFA team like that.
Yeah,
you could not make up a FIFA team better than that team right now. Or no, you probably could, but it may be only with 1 or 2 players.
Yeah. And if he gets Haaland as well. Yeah, I don't know, man. He has to. And the thing is, like, even the French league is not good enough because you'd expect them to win that anyway. Both of the cups are not good enough because you'd expect them to win that anyway. So it's literally the Champions League or bust, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And the Champions League is not, it's a cup competition. So all it takes is for you to draw, I don't know, a Man City on a good day for City, you know, or a Chelsea on a good day for Chelsea, and you're out.
Oh, yeah.
So it's interesting to see what happens. But But yeah, stop throwing shade at De Bruyne, who is the best in the league, voted by your captain.
That must have hurt him when you said voted by your captain.
Yeah, everyone's captain agreed that it was wrong.
How you trying to throw shade on a guy who's your own captain voted player this season?
But yeah,
Andrew,
I saw a comment before from Andrew W. He says he thinks he used to sit next to me at football. Do I sit by the dugout? I used to sit by the dugout for about 4 years. I've sat all over. I now sit near this. I sit in Colin Bell still, but towards the south stand, near the south stand. So I sit there. I've moved around quite a bit. I used to sit in 2-3-2 for 8 years. Before that, I used to sit at the other side, and then I moved down for about 4 years, and now I've moved. And then I moved to the corner for about 2 years, and then I've moved back. Or a year? Was it a season? Yeah, a season. And then I moved back over here. I definitely do love Fernandinho more than I love you. That is true. Zane, I go to every single home game unless I'm busy, and then I'll sell my ticket. But yeah, I always go to every single home game. Away games are more difficult because it's like gold dust. And I'm not always sure I can go. And then by the time I know I can go, it's normally sold out anyway. So yeah, home and sometimes away. But every home game, in every competition, you will find me at the game. But yeah, Thiago is your guy, but Pep wouldn't swap him for De Bruyne. Because De Bruyne is the best in the league, like we've discussed. But yeah,
right. Let's not run this. Let's not run this agenda, innit? Like, let's not try to play games tonight, right? Innit? About Thiago and KD. We all know who's better than who, bruv. Yeah, Mr.
Oh, okay. You're 117. I think I won 2-2. I think. But yeah, you probably were. You know what? It is nice to sit near Pep because you can actually hear him, and you can see. Like I used to sit on the same row as the players, so when you look to the side, you can see the players. Stuff like that. It's quite cool. But yeah, sorry.
I ain't actually gone to an Arsenal game in like 3 years, 4
Really?
years. Mm.
Every time I go to the Emirates, Arsenal never win. You know, never win. Like they always draw or lose.
Don't go then, innit? Because you're probably you're probably a bad omen for us. What are you going to my stadium for? Now I know why we lose.
I've not been like to loads of games. I just went to the Emirates Cup once. I think it was once or twice. I've been twice. Something like that. And then I went to a few City games. So there was one where I think Otamendi scored and it was 1-1, like quite a few years ago. And then I went to the 3-0 after the Wembley one. There was no one in the stadium because it was snowing. It was freezing. I went to that one, and I've been to the one at the start of the season a few years ago where Sterling scored. I think it was 2-1. And I went to the one in the last, was it the last season? I've been to about 4. I think I've been about 4 Arsenal away. But I like Arsenal away. The only reason why I don't go is when I can't get a ticket. So yeah, it's good. But yeah, is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
I just hope we get taken over by this Qatari royal family.
That's gonna be so funny.
If it happens, we're back. Just know we're back. If it don't happen, enjoy life up there, innit?
You know what?
Enjoy life at the top, innit?
If that happens, United fans are gonna be so pissed. Because they're looking the fact that Arsenal are shit.
No, because the guy, obviously, he's got more money than City's owner.
Yeah.
Obviously, because fucking PSG, look at them. So, if it was stuff, it would be the richest in the league.
That's right, yeah.
Whether it happens or not, we shall see. I don't know, man. But yeah, no, obviously, I hope Arsenal win tomorrow. I don't see it happening. We're probably going to get pummeled again, but it's what
Yeah.
I'll set her out with it.
I hope you're right. Honestly, I really hope you're right.
Yeah, I know you hope I'm right.
But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Please like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Join the membership. And, we'll be back probably. I don't know when Gyaldem City is going to be, to be honest. But Gonna Talk will be back. Is it next week?
I don't know. Is it? Oh, are you talking about me?
Yeah, Gonna Talk.
Oh, Gonna Talk. Yeah, I'm Gonna Talk. I'll be back Monday night.
Okay, yeah. So you'll see.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to come over on Monday as well to do it's up to you if you're free to do obviously the match review.
I'm at a wedding on Monday, so I won't be free. But
okay,
yeah,
so I'll pretend. I'll bring Flawless instead. He could be the
yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Thanks, guys. See you later.